I saw her phone light up, and my world went dark. The phone buzzed once. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Enough that it was noticeable in the silence stretching between us. She was in the shower. Steam wafting from beneath the bathroom door. Water flowing, careless, unaware that it would soon obliterate all in its path. It was lying face down on the couch between the cushions, just where she always left it. I didn't mean to look. I truly didn't. But when it vibrated for the second time, and this time illuminated the bedroom, I saw a name that was supposed to be out of my life. I miss you already. No emoji. No explanation. For little words that broke something open in me. I was staring at the screen as though it would change if I blinked. Like this was a misunderstanding. A glitch. A coincidence. But the glow stayed. The name stayed. And that began to unravel everything I thought I knew about my life. We'd been in a relationship for 7 years. Married for 4. Not perfect, no relationship is, but stable. Warm. Predictable in a way that felt comfortable. She would say we were boringly happy. I used to consider that a compliment. We had routines. Coffee together every morning. Mute road trips where our hands chanced upon one another without even searching. Late-night discussions about nothing of importance and everything at the same time. I trusted her. Not because she was entitled to it, but because she broke barriers. Or at least, I thought she did. That night had been ordinary. Dinner leftovers. A show we'd half-watched 12 times. She laughed at something I said and put her head on my shoulder. That hurt most to remember, because it came after everything had already started. I didn't answer the phone right away. I said to myself, that's none of my business. That relationships need privacy. That I was overthinking. But the phone buzzed again. And again. Every vibration on my phone felt like a knock from a stranger at the door, demanding to be let in. So I did the very last thing that I thought I would ever do. I turned the phone over. The screen filled with messages. Too many to be innocent. Too familiar to be harmless. Inside jokes. Late-night timestamps. Words you should never say to another man's wife. My hands shook as I scrolled. My chest tightened. My ears buzzed as though I were underwater. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't confusion. This was intimacy, patiently assembled, discreetly defended, and purposely concealed. And the worst part? She was good at it. I remained still, as the water rained down on me, reading months of conversations that had rewritten my marriage. I learned when it started. I noticed how much they talked. I learned of the version of her he knew, soft, playful, vulnerable in ways she hadn't been with me for years. She told him she felt unseen. She told him that she felt alive with him. She had told him she did not know how much longer she could put on the appearance that everything was okay. Pretend. That word came back louder than anything else. Because I hadn't been pretending. I had been believing. She emerged from the bathroom in a towel, humming quietly. Hair damp. Face relaxed. Happy. She turned to ice when she saw me holding her phone. I knew by the expression on her face everything before she uttered a word. Shock. Fear. Calculation. Why you up in my phone? She asked. Not are you okay? Not let me explain. Not I'm sorry. That was also when I noticed that something else had died. She cried. Of course she did. She said it wasn't physical. She said she never intended for it to come this far. She said she felt lonely. She said she still loved me. And I disbelieved every word of it, not because the words weren't true, but because they were too late. Love doesn't hide. Loneliness doesn't justify betrayal. And mistakes don't require secrecy. She didn't trip. She didn't fall. She walked, slowly, purposefully, into another person's arms. We didn't sleep. I lay on one of the beds looking at the ceiling, all my angles contorted with projected memory as though it were a crime scene. Searching for signs I missed. Moments that, seen through the clarifying lens of truth, looked differently now. Her laughter at her phone. Her sudden privacy. When she'd look away to text. All the signs were there. I just had more faith in her than my instincts. The days after were worse. Not the arguments so much as the silence. I grieved a marriage that still technically existed. I was grieving a woman who still sat across the table. We didn't have a ceremony for not being us anymore. No closure. Just a silent implosion that no one else could see. She wanted to fix things. She wanted time. I wanted my life back. Betrayal doesn't just break the heart. It rewires your mind. You stop trusting memories. You question your worth. You can't understand how someone could lie so effortlessly as he's kissing you goodnight. It makes you question not only them, but yourself. I wasn't angry all the time. Mostly I was tired. One morning, weeks later, I got in my bag. Not out of rage. Not with dramatic speeches. Just quiet clarity. She asked where I was going. I said, somewhere honest. She cried again. But this time, I didn't stay. Healing wasn't fast. Some days I felt strong. There were days that I missed the life I used to have. But slowly, the fog lifted. I also learned that love feels secure, not confusing. That trust isn't something you cower and beg for. Turning your back and walking away is an act of self-respect. I didn't lose my world that night. I lost an illusion. Not hers. Mine. Messages from friends. New connections. Fragments of a future that I hadn't even dreamed up. And every time my screen lights up in the dark, I'm reminded of it. That moment. The one that broke me. But I also remember this. Darkness didn't end me. It told me where the light wasn't. And I decided never to live without it again.